Last time on Trials of Mana.
Here we are in Abomination.
Wow, a couple years late, but okay. All right, true test. Who is this? And I was like, that's Link. It's not Zelda, it's Link. And you were like, all right.
Episode 19, Across the Burning Sands.
Hello once again, audience. We're back with some more Trials of Mana.
In the last part, we took on not one, not two, but three, count them, 3 Machine Golems. And now we're going to find Undine,
Undine.
The spirit of water.
Not to be confused with undies.
Nope. Don't need no undies to help our spirits.
Kevin's like, oh, we were supposed to wear undies?
No wonder I'm chafed down there.
Aw, Kevin.
I mean, not to make this like 18 and older commentary, but
boy.
in the case of Kevin, you'd think he has enough hair to keep him warm in this labyrinth of ice.
I mean, you're not wrong, though. He is part wolf man.
They're big and shaggy.
Even the dragons are adorable in this world.
I know. They look like babies.
The little babies.
A little baby. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The Mana Stone.
The Mana Stone is giving off energy.
I really like Reese's spear.
Yeah.
The way it curves like that. It's just like, oh.
We can wait for that night to activate all the stones. Then the portal will open without us finding elementals. Right?
No! We can't let them release the mana energy like this. It drains it from the world faster.
Would you be my
Even
friend
it
if I
opens the
had
portal,
bangs like Fairy?
It'll permanently wither the mana
Yeah, I'd be
tree.
your friend. You could even
The more
color the
energy
tips
that's
all
released,
pinkish like that if you
the
want.
more it'll weaken the mana power everywhere. If this continues, it might even weaken the seals on the
Like I said, go
banana
wild. You only live
the
once.
seals could
Yeah.
reach their breaking point. We must find the elementals before the forces of evil release all the mana energy. Then we can open the portal and secure the sword. Please understand.
Oh, got it. My mistake.
I just want you to know how dire the situation is. But we can do this.
Oh my.
There's Undine.
Undine,
Crying.
you're crying.
She's moved by our motivations.
No. You're on such
I
a
do like her
noble
little,
quest.
like,
I was just so
tail skirt.
moved. Do pardon
The heart
me.
bosom.
With Mana
Well, no, like
Golems,
her little skirt.
I've been
I know
so
they're fins,
sick
like they're a
years
part of her
lately.
tail.
Oh, okay.
Have no
Yeah, I
fear.
see it
This
now.
is cute.
I will gladly lend my
I just
power
like the
in your
colors on
cause.
her.
Yeah.
Very
Help me
vibrant.
make
Almost
all
reminds me
your
of like the rainbow
acquaintances.
fish.
Yeah.
Or like, this
No,
was
she's cute.
This
I
was
like
a
her.
classic like
Yeah.
children's book, but it was like the sparkle fish and like he had
Mhm.
like one sparkle
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Very common children's book.
No, I like
I can
her. She's
see the
cute.
cover right now as I'm talking about it.
I can too.
But okay, we got Undine.
Come on.
I need
Houdini.
warm weather now.
Undine! Oh my god. So like Phil and I have been trying to do like a Star Wars parody because like that was just the norm with every kid wanted to do their own Star Wars. And like he was trying to do like his own kind of like Darth Vader but different. So he made like these noises and I'm just like, I can't understand you. I'm like, what's coming out next? Undine! And he just lost it. He's just like, can you imagine someone being like, Undine! Be like, what the hell happened? Because, like, I remember my line was just like, Lord Saren, the troops are underway in the outpost in the outskirts of Talos. Well, again, being a kid, I'm just like, Lord Saren, the people are in the outpost, in the outskirts, in the outer rims of something. And he's like, stop. You're getting it wrong. Because, like, back then, we didn't really have a script. He'd just
Yeah.
be like, this is the line, memorize the line. So, like, sometimes I just goof off script, and he's like, you're terrible. I'm like, what do you mean? You're laughing. I gotta be doing something right.
Bruh.
The Oracle once said, there was once a crooked man
in a crooked house who had a crooked cat and a crooked mouse. Where's that crooked house? Phil goes, where's that crooked mouse? Home of Michael Jackson. That's pretty crooked. We did this one like Batman Begins parody. I think we still have the clip, but we don't have the blooper because we taped over bloopers back then. But he's like, good evening, Mr. Tucker. And I'm just like, how do you know my name? And he's like, I see many things like a garage door opening next door that's going to ruin this scene.
Yeah, I remember you guys telling me about that one.
And we just stop and turn at the guy opening and we just burst out laughing. God, I miss those days. Terrible as they were, there was just something fun about it. Just like, grab a camera.
I got progressively goofier as
Do
I
some
got older.
goofy shit.
Like, I was a very serious teenager.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I talked about philosophy and religion, what happens when you die. Like, I was having none of this laughy, giddy. Yeah, I was very serious.
We'd have got along well. He said in a sarcastic, demeaning tone.
Yeah. Yeah, I like loosened up a lot.
But no, it kind of bums me out that like now I know, and I don't want to say a good story, but now I know how to write a story, how to shoot a scene, how to edit.
You have the skill now.
I have the skill to like do it proper, and there's just either no time or no drive really to grab a camera and shoot some funny shit. And like this was before the pandemic, so like I know the pandemic is a factor, but like in general, it's just like, well, grow old, move on to other things.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm of the philosophy of this, I can't stop creating or I'll die.
Oh, absolutely.
I just
like,
can't.
Even I like threw myself into this huge depression because I was like, F art, like I'm done doing art. And then I went into like a business professional setting where like I had to wear like pantsuits and skirt suits and heels to work every day. And like I worked in an office and I was so sad all the time because it's like I didn't get to make anything.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where like my boss started seeing it and he was just like, hey, you know, can I like commission a painting for the office? And I was so excited. So I did like all these paintings for the office and like other offices and things. And it's like, that's when I was just like, yeah, I need to.
Yeah.
I can't be in a business professional setting. Like, and even whenever I eventually left that job and I went into like a cubicle job, I was like losing my mind because I was trying to have the mentality of like, this is just to pay bills so I can do what I want to do. And it's just like with mental illness, you like that mentality is really hard to keep because you're so tired when you come home that you can't do it.
work.
So you work 5 days a week and then, you know, the other 2 days you do laundry and housework and shopping and, you know.
Well, that was one of the reasons why I got like seasonal depression. It's like I was so overworked, like not Good Friday, Black Friday. Then I worked open to close that Saturday. Then I had a long shift that Sunday. That like by Monday or Tuesday, what it was, I was just like, I'm
And I think that's something that I realized like going through all of the jobs because I've worked a lot of jobs.
Yeah, you've told me.
Is just like I would rather have time than like a cushy bank account.
Yeah.
You know.
Same.
So as long as like the bills are paid, animals are fed, you know, I don't mind not going on like fancy cruises and shit.
Exactly.
I would much rather like spend the weekend making video games and painting and you know, talking about stories and fleshing out different story ideas and stuff like that than like
that's the kind of stuff that
going out
makes
to fancy
me excited.
restaurants. Like that makes me so nervous going out to restaurants that aren't like little dives or diners where it's like you got Bill, you know?
Yeah, that's what it was becoming. It's just like, hey, with the group, it was just like, where do you guys want to eat? Where do you guys want to eat? It was like every Sunday.
Fancy and somewhere like.
Sometimes it was like decent, other times it was fancy. It was all over the place, and like it brought a lot of fatigue because I'm just like, I don't want to eat anywhere. I just want to like grab a quick bite and work on something.
I'm definitely the type of person that's like, listen, can we all just like huddle in someone's house and order a giant pizza?
Yeah,
like
and that happened too.
So
sometimes.
much rather do that than like go out to a restaurant.
But like
the restaurants I like going to are like when we went to Father's Diner.
Oh, okay.
That's the type
you like
of
the
like
little diners.
Yeah, that's the type of like go out to eat that I enjoy.
Yeah, I went to one
or,
out
like,
in
this
Hershey.
Small...
That was the one where I made love to the turkey club. Good old diners.
best food. Like, it's always the best food, the best service.
Yep.
Like, you know, I just really
Can't
would
recommend it
prefer
enough.
those over any other type of restaurant.
Agreed. Absolutely. But no, it's weird that, like, I get over my depression and, like, a worldwide pandemic goes on, and I'm just like, I've had worse.
I know. Well, it's
I'm just like, well, I'm mentally stable,
I
so.
was reading an article. I guess it's like mental health episode here.
Yeah, why not?
But I was reading this article about a lot of people that suffer from like depression and anxiety going into the pandemic didn't really feel that sense of panic because they live every single day in a sense of panic.
Yes.
So there wasn't like that dive into depression because they live there. So
Yeah.
it's like they didn't really need to feel a sense of panic about it.
Yeah. Like most events, like this was good for some, bad for others.
Yeah.
Like even some people, like because they were detached from their friends, they went into a depression.
Yeah.
So like this was a very like serious time, but it affected each individual different.
Yeah.
And like
Like, it's
luckily for me, I was just like, well, I've had worse, so
Yeah.
I'll power through.
Whereas, like, at the start of the pandemic, I lived alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had lived alone for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't go out. Like, I haven't gone out for a very long time.
Every time we go out after a couple hours, it's just like,
Yeah.
you want to go back?
But it's just, like, even, like, how people will be like, oh, go out to the movies or go out shopping or, you know, something like that. I don't do that. I go, I get what I need, and I get out. Like, I don't tend to linger.
Mm-hmm.
Little cactus! You get away from little cactus, sir.
Kevin's line right there reminds me of you when he's like, oh, hot is bad. Cold is better.
Yes.
Not like hot.
Facts. I'm very
'Cause,
much
like,
a cold person.
Whereas I'm very much like a warm to hot person.
Yeah.
Like I can take the heat. If I'm cold, I'm
I'm
like,
miserable. I'm so miserable when it's hot.
So like, there's very few times when the weather is perfect where not one of us are bitching.
I know.
Someone's always
Someone's
bitching.
normally complaining.
Someone's always like, it's too cold. It's too hot.
But yeah, I was honestly pretty thankful for the shutdown.
And like, this is selfish to say, but like, it really helped me recalibrate what matters most
Yeah,
in my life and where I
absolutely.
want to go forward.
I
It was a nice
agree.
pause for me to recollect my thoughts and be
Like,
like,
it's a tragedy,
this is
absolutely. You know, however, I am thankful for where it put me in my life.
how, yeah.
It got me out of a job I hated, like into believing and understanding I can write for money.
Yeah.
You know, people do want my work, and to like get back into painting and you know, making artwork.
Like, I was
crafting,
just a
you know.
miserable son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I didn't really smile unless I was creating something. And,
Yeah.
like, every time I told people about my stuff, they'd just be like, whatever, you'll grow out of this.
Yeah.
Which didn't help me feel better. I simped for bartenders just because I was desperate for attention from the opposite sex. So that wasn't fun. Everyone I knew was, their, like, life was just
Yeah.
shooting far. So I had, like, bits of envy.
Oh yeah.
I was in an insurmountable amount of debt. So, like, yeah, it was just, like, accumulating to, like, a very bad point in my life. And I'm happy to say that's behind me.
Yeah.
That's not to say, like, I'm still not going to get depressed here and there. I mean,
no.
we got these
Yeah.
nice little
I,
lights here.
I did. Yeah.
When I told you about my seasonal depression.
So I actually got vitamin D lamps for anyone who suffers from seasonal depression. And I think to a point, just normal depression as well. Because that's where I'm at. Like, I have regular depression just year round.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with, like, life or anything like that. So anyone who has that, don't think, like, your life sucks or something's wrong. It is a chemical imbalance in your brain. So it's, you know, nothing that you can do or change in your life to help that. The grass is always greener, you know,
Yes.
seek help. You know, talk to your doctors. It's awkward and it's uncomfortable, but they will help you. But I did get vitamin D lamps as well to help with the seasonal aspect.
Yeah.
From when, you know, the sun sets at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
It only rose at noon, you know.
Yep.
So these lamps kind of replicate sunlight to make you kind of trick your brain into thinking there's more light than there is.
Yeah.
It was like $23 on Amazon. Don't get me wrong, I hate Amazon as much as the next person, but It's a good deal. They also have them at Bed Bath & Beyond.
I did see that. Yeah.
They're a little bit more expensive at Bed Bath & Beyond, but they're also a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But, yeah, don't suffer.
Yeah, don't suffer.
You don't have to.
Don't suffer in silence. We're all in this together. And like,
And we're saying that from our house, not spelling it out in cruise ships in the sea.
yeah.
And yachts.
God.
All the rich people spell out,
Not-
we're all in this together, and they're
Not
yachts
singing Imagine with fucking all the other A-list celebrities. It's just like, get the fuck
that
out
are
of
like
here with your
cozy in their
hippy-dippy-
homes that have movie theaters and bowling
Uh-huh.
alleys.
God. Like, way to miss the mark, fellas.
We are normal people.
Yep.
We just had the water heater guy close off our laundry chute with a goddamn pipe. That made me so mad. So mad.
I saw that and I'm just like, he did that on purpose.
Oh, God. So we had our furnace replaced. Okay, and the guy that was replacing our furnace noticed that the water heater needed a pipe fixed. So he was like, all right, we'll set up an appointment. I'll come back and, you know, we'll fix the pipe on the water heater. I'm like, okay, you know, that's cool. Like, time to be adults and, you know, take care of the house so that it doesn't explode.
Yep.
So they come back, and I'm thinking, like, they ripped out an old furnace.
Yep.
An old gas furnace, and put in a brand new gas furnace in 3 hours.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like an hour job, you know?
No.
Just replacing a pipe. I've replaced pipes, like, you know, it'll be fine.
No, it took like 4.5 to 5 hours.
Oh my God, it was like 5 hours
Yes.
later. We hear like saws going, like the house is rattling, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what is happening?
Yeah, what is this guy doing?
He like rerouted the valve
Mm-hmm.
to the water heater. It used to be in one direction and they put it going the other direction.
Okay.
And we have a laundry chute that I have 3 laundry chutes that go on each floor, and it all drops down into like this big wooden basket
Right.
in the basement next to the washer and dryer.
In this desert.
It is dangerous.
It has a little
Wander in the
door
desert.
that you can close
Please be careful,
so that your clothes
everyone.
don't go all over the basement.
Right.
And then you open it to take your clothes out. He routed the pipe in front of the little door,
Yeah.
so I couldn't open it. Like, he knew it was a laundry thing because there were clothes inside.
Right.
Like, I had our bedding and clothes and
Yeah.
stuff inside because I hadn't done
He
laundry
did that on
yet.
purpose. You probably heard us like rustling upstairs, like, oh, what's this guy gonna do?
I know, like,
It's like we were like, hey, we want to go.
3 hours in, I, like, teeter downstairs to the basement, like, is everything going okay? Like,
That's probably when he was just like, I'll show them.
I, like,
That was when he started putting the pipe in.
close off the goddamn laundry chute. So mad. So mad. I was on steroids, too, so I was like, I'm gonna get him.
Oh my
I, like,
God.
I just, like, ripped the boards off so that I could open the laundry chute to do laundry.
Those steroids, even though they're done, like, that was a funny week.
Oh my God. So they told me at the doctor that I had swelling in my lungs from just allergies and whatever. So they put me on steroids to help the swelling go down. And she was like, okay, so the steroids can tend to cause aggression. And I was like, oh boy. And she was like, and they're also going to make you hungry. I was thinking when she said make you feel hungry that, like, you know how when you get really hungry and you're just like, oh, and then you eat and then you feel better?
Yeah.
That was not it.
No.
It was munchies.
Yeah, you had the
Like,
munchies.
I was like, I'll have a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this, but all the time.
Yep. Yeah, you're always munching on something. I'm like, this is very new for you.
I'm not a snacker.
Alright, so anyways, back to the game at hand. We're wandering the desert, fighting some mad mallards, because when I think desert, I think duck soldiers. Let me tell you. And these guys are bullets.
Yeah, some of the enemies don't quite make sense. Ducks in the desert.
Yeah. Like, this game is just kind of like, hey, we have an idea for an enemy, let's put it in. Whereas, Ys goes out of its way to make
It
it
fits.
environmentally
Yeah.
fits. Like, this is their habitat.
Yeah.
Like, I believe it.
That's what I mean when I say, like, Ys is just the older brother of Charles Mana.
Yeah.
Place to wait for
Both excellent games, but
Yeah.
Ys like really does polish those few like brown spots
Yeah.
in Trials of Mana,
We should work together to defeat this threat.
which is gonna make things redundant because just this past year I said Trials of Mana is one of my favorite RPGs.
Cactus.
Yep.
See him?
Yeah, I'll get them once I clear out these boulettes.
I mean, it's still one of my favorites, and it's always gonna have a special place because this was the game where it's like we were excited for it to come out together.
Yes.
It wasn't just like
Like this was a game that I've been excited for a while because
Yeah.
I just wanted to play the original.
right.
And it's funny because now at this point I still have yet to play through the original. I've only played like the remake.
Yeah.
But one day I'd like to play the original because it was never released outside of Japan. I was
Yeah.
just like, man, that looks like such a cool game. I want to play it so badly. So when the remake came out, I was just like, oh, they're remaking
Yeah.
it. It's coming to the US.
And then
Hooray!
everyone said about how well done the remake was.
Yeah.
Which I agree, like, and the clips and stuff that I've seen of the original, and like I've heard the original music, I definitely think it's well done. Mm-hmm. It's well put together.
Yeah, this is still a very good game. No question. But I do look forward to one day playing the original because
Yeah.
one of the things that people don't like about the remake that the original had was co-op.
Oh yeah.
That like in the original,
You
like,
could-
I could be Kevin, you could be
multiplayer, yeah.
Reese. But the original was also a lot harder because there aren't things like dodging or
Yeah.
stuff like
You
that.
just had to take
you
it.
had to take the hits and then heal or have the proper equipment. It's very reliant on that. There's no
Yeah.
dodging. There's none of that red aura of like,
See,
hey,
I-
this is where the
like-
enemy's gonna attack.
I really love aesthetics and things of old games, but I definitely do get way more frustrated. And I think I
Yeah.
understand like younger kids now because it's like I was introduced to these games in their newer versions.
Yes.
So like I never had to play Duck Hunt,
Mm-hmm.
and struggle with the bad things about it. Like
Right. Well, that's why I kind of like show you bits and pieces of like every game.
Oh, yeah.
Like you've played one of the newer Zeldas, even though it's a remake of an
Yeah.
older Zelda. You've played the newest version. You've played Trials of Mana's newest version.
Right.
You've played the newest Ys game
Right,
until
so
9
it's-
came out.
but like
But you've also played
do
Pokemon
have-
Snap.
yeah, and it's like I definitely have a respect for those games, absolutely. But if you're gonna ask me my preference, it's gonna
Yeah.
be like these types of games.
Like you've played Rayman. You've played an older Castlevania.
Fuck Rayman.
Those are some venomous words. We'll get to that playthrough. If you thought we were negative on Shantae and Hat in Time, brudda, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait until we get to the Rayman playthrough.
Well, see, like Shantae, I enjoyed when the volume was off. Like, and I know that sounds really shitty, but like when I couldn't hear them being snotty or like the stupid little comments and things, I thought it was a really good game. Like the aesthetics were cool. Like the
I like the
gameplay
gameplay,
was
yeah.
cool.
I still like the
I just
gameplay.
didn't like the banter.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because the music is really good. But
Yeah.
I, wasn't a fan of the banter. So like listening to it was very different than like just
Going
watching.
back, like, I don't know if it's just being older now. The writing's not that good.
No, it was awful.
Like, it's very juvenile and kind of tongue-in-cheek and, like, not even clever.
It was mean.
Stone's got to be around here
Like that's what it was. It was mean.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't cute or clever. Like they had the opportunity to make it clever and they
Mm-hmm.
just didn't.
So I don't know if, like, future Shantae games improved on that. I'm not really excited because, for me, that was my favorite Shantae
Yeah.
game.
I mean, like I said, I'm not opposed to like playing more
Mm-hmm.
because again, the aesthetics are cool, the gameplay is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea that she's a little genie that turns into animals is cool.
Yeah, that's real fun.
But like I'm just not a fan of the banter.
And that's fine.
Rayman I dislike for different reasons.
For gameplay.
For gameplay.
Because, like,
it is
it
the
looks
most
beautiful.
unfair game.
It sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
But, like, its level design is not
Shit.
good. Sure.
It's bad. Like So whenever I was in middle school, we had typing classes. So yeah, that's all you youngsters back when they still had typing classes.
Yeah, the old like orange wrapper over the keyboard.
Yep.
Because that was stupid.
But it was like, back whenever like not every household had a computer.
Yeah.
Especially I grew up in a really poor area, so like very few households had computers. So our schools had typing classes, so we could learn how to use like Microsoft and Excel and all of those programs at school.
Yep.
And they would teach us how to type without looking at the keyboard.
Yeah.
So we had this little thing that went over the keyboard.
Yep.
That you'd stick your hands into.
Which, much like learning how to write in cursive, is just one of those skills that who the
it's
fuck
obsolete
cares?
now.
Who cares?
Yeah. But anyway, whenever we would have study halls, they would combine your study hall with the typing class.
Ew.
Yeah. So it's like one teacher had twice the amount of students. Half of them were study, half of them were in class.
Okay.
So like the study hall kids were allowed to use the computers for basically whatever you wanted to use them for.
Okay.
So a lot of kids would like type their papers or, do whatever.
Yep.
I would play games online. So, and there was a website.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, there was a website that would like let you play demos, I
Okay.
guess. So it's like I played Rayman
Yep.
online up until he got like his punch, and I loved it. I was like, this game is so fun.
Aw.
So whenever you were like, hey, let's play it, I'd never played past that point.
Yeah, that's real early on.
So I was like, wow, this kind of sucks, butthole. Like, it was the same with Earthworm Jim. Like, Earthworm Jim, you could play up for so long, and there were a couple other games that, like, you could play the first part of them.
Okay.
But that's what I would do during study hall while the other kids were typing.
Ah.
I'd play games.
Okay, you'd played games. Deceiving games. Games
Yes.
where you're just like, oh, this is a pretty fun one.
And then 20 years later, you try to play it again.
You're just like, maybe I'm bad at games? No, it's the designers who are at
Yes.
fault.
Oh my god, that was more than 20 years ago. Poof. Let me just stroke my long white beard. Wesker's like, you don't have a beard. Look at his face.
Yeah. He's being a little huffy about something.
He is. Maybe he has to go out.
Oh, God. He always has to go out.
This dog, I've never had a dog save excrement so that he could go out again.
Yeah.
Like, not to be gross, but I've seen him pinch off a turd so that he can go back out in 25 minutes.
Asshole.
He's like, they're wrong to me.
No,
Damn it.
He laid down and groaned.
The secret's out.
I feel like I called both of you guys on bullshit that you think I don't see.
He's still moaning about it.
She'll never know. And then I'm like, yeah, I know that when you do this, it means that. And you're like, oh no.
Uh-oh. Well. Had a good run. It was fun while it lasted. What the hell do you want me to say?
I'm just like, I know when you're actually listening and when you're not. You
For the
say
most
this
part.
and you're just like, uh-oh. You'll try to switch it up.
She catches on to patterns.
It's almost like I have a higher intelligence.
Until you say that, then you'll just do something butthead stupid. I'll just be like, yep, that's mine.
We're lucky there's a town here.
She's all mine, boys. Hands off. Oh boy, oh boy.
I'm a keeper.
Yep, that you are. All right, you. In the next part, I think we're going to head into the Fiery Gorge, because right now we're in the Oasis. I want to grab the chest. Yep. Get ourselves stocked up for the Fiery Gorge, because we got a lot of bad juju ahead of us. Yeah, Fiery Gorge has the lovely fire spouts and
Yeah.
molten lava. So it's like, okay, not only do you have to worry about enemies, but the environment can kill you. So yeah, I hope you all look forward to that, and we'll see you all in the next part.
Toodles.